From your local news leader and the Spirit of Community Award winner, this is NBC 10 News at 10.
Hello and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chelsea Jones. President Trump has made his first public comment about those massive California wildfires. He's threatening to cut off federal funding to the state. Sarah Harmon is in Los Angeles with more on the ongoing feud between the president and California's governor.
As California recovers from devastating fires that scorched nearly 100,000 acres and forced thousands from their homes, the president lashed out at California Governor Gavin Newsom and threatened to pull federal funding, tweeting, "Every year it's the same thing, and then he comes to the federal government for monetary help. No more. Get your act together, Governor." And blasted Newsom's forest management. "I told him from the first day we met that he must clean his forest floors." He doubled down on the South Lawn.
The governor doesn't know. He's like a child. He doesn't know what he's doing. Every year it's always California. It's rarely somebody else or someplace else.
Newsom fired back, "You don't believe in climate change. You are excused from this conversation." The president has suggested cleaning the forest floors before, suggesting specifically that they be raked. After the devastating Camp Fire last year that killed 85 people, the president said,
"Got to take care of the floors, the floors of the forests, very important."
Adding he had taken advice from Finland's president.
And they spend a lot of time on raking and cleaning and doing things, and they don't have any problem.
The Finnish president later said he didn't recall mentioning raking. Many of California's most destructive blazes aren't forest fires and are thought to have been started by faulty power lines and equipment. Residents in fire-damaged neighborhoods reacting to the president.
He needs to come down here, basically, and see actually what's burning and what's not.
California is not managed well at all on all fronts.
Sparks of controversy as the flames die down.
Well, next year's general election is just 1 year away from today. The presidential election will be held Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. The latest head-to-head polls show the president trailing Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren, but the Democratic presidential nominee won't even be picked until the Democratic National Convention in mid-July. It's unknown what impact, if any, the House impeachment inquiry will have on Trump's re-election bid and voter support, but here's what he has to say about it.
I have the real polls. The CNN polls are fake. The Fox polls have always been lousy. I tell them they ought to get themselves a new pollster. But the real polls, if you look at the polls, that came out this morning, people don't want anything to do with impeachment. It's a phony scam. It's a hoax.
The president will be headed to Monroe on Wednesday, campaigning for a Republican candidate for governor, Eddie Rispone. And of course, as your local election headquarters, we will have full coverage for you all week long. Chuck E. Cheese has partnered with the Center for Autism and Related Disorders to create a program for children on the spectrum. NBC 10's Maya Hudgens talked to Chuck E. Cheese officials on how it impacts the local community.
Chuck E. Cheese is an indoor playground kids adore. However, for children with autism or other disabilities, the sound effects, lights, and atmosphere may be a little too much. That's why Chuck E. Cheese created a program that would include everybody.
What I observe when they come in, they're more relaxed, they're more calm. It's not crowded, it's not too much noise for them. They're just in their own zone and they're getting things done, playing their games.
Chuck E. Cheese is adding a whole new meaning to their slogan, "Where a kid can be a kid." Sensory Sensitive Sunday allows them to be just that, a kid without a title. Sensory Sensitive Sundays have all the fun, food, and games of a normal day. The only difference is the lights and sounds are turned down for those who are on the spectrum. Every first Sunday of the month, Chuck E. Cheese opens 2 hours early for kids and adults with disabilities, a program they've been doing since 2016. Officials say this allows kids to meet friends just like them, creating a family for those who need support.
And I hope they feel like we are their family as much as we feel like they're our family. So we want them to be taken care of and come on and enjoy this environment we have to offer them.
And for workers, it gives them a chance to make a difference.
I'm happy that we are able to play a part in it and giving someone a helping hand. So.
In Monroe, Maya Hudgens, NBC 10, your local news leader.
Chuck E. Cheese is now offering sensory-sensitive birthday parties to those who request it. The next sensory-sensitive Sunday, though, will be December 6th. Well, more adults are being diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, more commonly known as ADHD. A study released Friday shows the rates have more than doubled between 2007 and 2016. Researchers from Kaiser Permanente studied data involving 5 million people. White adults and those with another mental health disorder were more likely to receive an ADHD diagnosis. There was also an increase in children diagnosis from ages 5 to 11, but it was far less significant compared to adults. The Louisiana Department of Health is holding free flu vaccinations across the state throughout the month of November. This is an effort to limit the number of people diagnosed with the sickness. More than 1,400 people died and more than 14,000 were hospitalized last year from the flu virus. The shots will be free to everyone, so no matter if you have private insurance, Medicaid, or Medicare, a full list of locations and times will be on our website for you to go check it out. Well, coming up on NBC 10 News at 10, McDonald's CEO steps down. That's after admitting to an inappropriate relationship with an employee. We have the email he sent the company. And it's back. By popular demand, the Popeyes chicken sandwich has made its way back to the menu. We tell you how residents and Brian Briggs is feeling after the break. Brian?
Well, after a relatively quiet weekend, we'll see those rain chances returning at least for one day or so. We'll also be warming up. We'll time out those details coming up when NBC 10 News at 10 continues.
Shop and experience historic downtown West Monroe.
How important is the advantage of a 6-minute warning when severe weather is just 6 minutes away?
Only Fox 14's live storm tracker Doppler radar gives you the 6-minute advantage, showing you where dangerous storms are live as it happens.
6 minutes ahead of any other station.
With critical and sometimes life-saving information.
How important is a 6-minute warning? The NBC 10 Live Storm Tracker Doppler Radar. The 6-minute advantage. Keeping your family safe.
Tommy and Jenny came to Homeland recently because the big bank wasn't able to help them. And we were able to come up with a creative solution to help accomplish what the cookie cutter bank would not do. Because we helped here at Homeland, Tommy and Jenny's financial future is much stronger. We're Homeland Bank. Where's your money?
Gritty. Tough. And virtually indestructible. Toyota trucks were made to withstand anything your weekend might throw at them. Hurry into the Toyota Tailgate event for a great deal on all of your favorite Toyota trucks that were built for weekend fun. During the Toyota Tailgate event, get $1,500 customer cash, or qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2019 Tacoma. Toyota, let's go places.
It is a great honor and with a lot of pride that I get the opportunity to introduce our speaker, Governor Bobby Jindal.
We have a major budget crisis in Louisiana.
$2 billion shortfall.
He's done a phenomenal job.
Drastic cuts are feared.
Students are worried about their TOPS funding.
I am so proud of what you've done.
Higher ed and healthcare are facing deep cuts.
That massive budget deficit.
Please help me in welcoming Governor Bobby Jindal.
Thank you all very much.
My main part of banking has always been customer service. It's probably been the best bank I've been to that focuses solely on customer service and customer relationships, and everything just kind of falls in place after that.
We're Homeland Bank. Where's your money?
NBC 10 News at 10 continues.
McDonald's CEO has stepped down after violating company policy by having an inappropriate relationship with an employee. The company says Steve Easterbrook, quote, demonstrated poor judgment. McDonald's says it forbids managers from having romantic relationships with direct or indirect employees. In an email, Easterbrook admitted to having a relationship and called it a mistake. He also goes on to say, quote, given the values of the company, I agree with the board that it is time to move on. Popeyes is not only trending on Twitter and online and everywhere else, it is also trending in real life because the chicken sandwich is back. NBC 10's Maya Hudgens went to the West Monroe location to talk to customers to see what they had to say.
Can I have a spicy chicken sandwich on? The best chicken sandwich war started over 3 months ago between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. After Popeyes sold out of chicken sandwiches, Chick-fil-A thought maybe they'd won. But to these residents, that's not the case.
Last time they was here, it was so packed I couldn't get none, and I came Friday and got me 2 yesterday, and I'm back again today.
Popeyes brought back the chicken sandwich Sunday, so chicken fans only had one choice.
And they let it sit for a little bit for it to come back. I mean, obviously it worked, everybody's here.
Popeye's drive-thru was packed opening day, while just across the street, Chick-fil-A remained empty. But some customers say it's worth the wait.
Yep, it'll be worth it because they big and they good.
Some families drove over 30 minutes just to get a taste.
I'm very excited considering we drove from Farmerville.
And when we asked what the hype was all about, many didn't really know.
I have no idea. I was reading about it on the internet. It's supposed to be really good. I wanted to try it out.
I don't really know. I guess it's the only true competitor to like a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Expectations were high for those who missed out on the sandwich in August. Some even say they expect it to be better than Chick-fil-A.
I'm really expecting it to be better than Chick-fil-A with all the talk last time. So we waited over a month to get this chicken sandwich.
Others say Chick-fil-A is the winner, but they still have to fulfill their Sunday cravings.
I think Chick-fil-A is still a little bit better.
Yeah, but they're not open on Sundays as of today.
Right, so that's why I'm here.
At Popeye's Chicken, Maya Hudgens, NBC 10, your local news leader.
Popeyes has announced that the spicy and regular chicken sandwiches will stay on the menu. And tell us what you think about it on our Facebook page. And Brian's going to tell you what he thought about it because he finally got one.
Yeah, I got a spicy chicken sandwich combo because I like spicier stuff. And it was really good. I actually got a second one in addition to that. So,
he got two.
Oh, yeah, I had to. I took advantage of it.
And I'm still Team Chick-fil-A, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to let you have this hype right now.
Well, it was really good, just like our weather, but at least the chicken wasn't cold like our weather's been. But we'll see some warm-up temperatures as we head into next week. We'll time with those details coming up next. You're watching NBC 10 News at 10.
The Great Gas Card Giveaway is back. And what a game changer, because if there's no winner on NBC 10 News at 10, the Gas Card Giveaway keeps getting bigger and bigger. So enter now at Jim Taylor Ford, Jim Taylor Chevrolet, or myarclemis.com and fill her up.
CashNetUSA.com, man. I help when money's tight. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow. Ha, ha.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Eddie Risponi says,
I know what it takes to create jobs. I know how to fill those jobs for Louisiana citizens.
oh really? It's Risponi who got caught trying to hire foreign workers when Louisiana's unemployment was one of the highest in America. And Risponi's company benefited from over $500 million in corporate tax breaks intended to create Louisiana jobs, but only resulted in 19 new hires. Phony Eddie Risponi. He's not for you. Paid for and authorized by Gumbo Pack.
There's a lot I want to tell you about my husband, Eddie Risponi. He's hardworking and never still, unless he's in a church pew or a deer stand. Eddie is soft-spoken but strong. When he gives his word, he keeps it. And Eddie is big-hearted. Just watch him with our 24 grandkids and watch him melt. I don't know much about politics, but I know this. As governor, Eddie will make you proud every day.
Get Black Friday pricing now at Conn's Home Plus on all Samsung QLED TVs. And lower than Black Friday pricing on furniture sets. Plus up to 50% off Black Tag appliances.
Delta veterans bring their annual expo and celebration to Chenault Aviation and Military Museum, Saturday, November 9th. Enjoy live music, free food, kids activities, free services on site for veterans, and much more. Don't miss it.
Shop and experience historic downtown West Monroe.
Tracker Doppler Radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, your local weather with meteorologist Brian Briggs.
Well, good Sunday evening to you. Hopefully your day has been wonderful. We saw a lot of sunshine once again as our temperatures got into the 60s, and now a little bit chilly once again as this time yesterday. We're currently sitting at 45 degrees. Dew point is a little bit higher too, a little bit more moisture than what we've been seeing the last couple of days, but notice not as chilly as the last few evenings or so. We're generally in the 40s across much of the area, although there is a little bit of a cold pocket up in southern Arkansas there with Camden and El Dorado in the lower 40s. So just kind of give you an idea of where we've been today. We started off in the middle 30s, got all the way up to pretty much the lower to middle 60s, and now dropping off once again. But see, this time, yesterday, we were in the 30s, and yeah, a little bit warmer. And that's because we do have some cloud cover around, in addition to a little bit more moisture too, especially further south you go. We're seeing still some dry air though, especially up in southern Arkansas, where those dew points and some measure of moisture in the air are in the 30s. Live from Tracker Doppler Radar, brought to you by Orem Young, not showing anything because even despite the cloud cover that we have across the area, we do have high pressure in control. But a lot of moisture in the upper levels streaming across the ArcLamis and a lot of the mid-south region here, just coming in off the Pacific. So way, way, way down there, and kind of ahead of this little system here. We're going to be seeing a few fronts through the week, but really one is only going to bring us an opportunity of rain. So let's go through Future Tracker, kind of see what we're dealing with here. We have some clouds rolling in for our Monday, but that's really about it. We'll just kind of have periods of clouds and sun here and there. And Future Tracker wants to show a few light showers, but I believe it's overdoing it here just a little bit. Not enough moisture, not enough upper level support with that front. Really won't notice much of a temperature change either with that. And then we get to Wednesday, that's when the warm, moist air returns, leading to our rainfall chances on Thursday. So still looks like all the ArcLamis has a chance of getting at least about an inch. Some locations, very isolated, could hit very close to 2 inches, but all in all, it'll be kind of just one of those rains where the flooding and severe weather threat are very, very low. So for tonight, dropping into the mid-40s again. We'll just have periods of clouds and sun. It'll still be cool and chilly out there, but not as cold as what we've been seeing, as all of us will be in the 40s tonight. So yeah, a little bit warmer, and we'll see that trend continuing into the start of next week, with highs getting very close to that 70-degree mark. Again, just beautiful day, all in all. Nice way to start off the week. So the 7-day forecast shows that we'll continue to get back into the 70s by the time we get to Wednesday or so. That's when the warmest, quote-unquote, warmest, muggiest day of the week will be. That will be the best chance for showers and storms for Thursday. So again, that'll be ahead of that system. And then a little bit of cooler air returns for Friday and lingers into the weekend or so, but we will stay largely below average for much of the 7-day forecast, but good news is we're only seeing 1 day of rain on that 7-day forecast, and then the weekend looking pretty good. That's going to be it for weather. Sports is coming up next. Keep it here to NBC 10.
News sponsored by Communa Health Services. New name, same quality care.
It's the darkest time of the year. Headlight savings time. The best time to take care of the pairs in your life by replacing your basic bulbs with a fresh pair of whiter, brighter Sylvania bulbs. Because if a simple switch was all it took to protect your precious cargo, wouldn't you?
At Ashley County Medical Center, we strive to offer the best experience for women's health and labor and delivery. Ashley Women's Services offers prenatal care, ultrasounds, family planning, and exams. Our labor and delivery staff is well trained in postpartum, antepartum, and neonatal care to ensure the best possible service. Whatever your need, we'll make sure you're treated with kindness and care. Let us take care of you and your bundle of joy at Ashley County Medical Center in Crossett, where we treat you like family.
It's a stampede of savings at Cavender's with the best selection of boots on sale now. Save $50 on quality handcrafted Lucchese boots. Men's and ladies' Ariat boots are now $20 off. Ladies save $15 on Ariat's popular Dixon booties, or get $10 off styles by Very G, Not Rated, and Corky's. Ladies' Corral boots are now $20 off, and save $10 on comfortable Twisted X casuals. Come to Cavender's and save now.
You gotta get on down to Don Killen's Country Village Manufactured Home.
Now is the time to save big on the last of our 2019 models. But hurry, only 3 single wides and 2 doubles left. We are stocking up on 2020 models at prices that blow the competition away. With 50 years in business, Don Killen's Country Village has the best deals around. So pass the rest to the best and get more home for your money. Just 5 miles south of I-20 across from Richwood High School.
The Animal House is your local pet store. Cypress Street, West Monroe.
Now, your local sports with Spencer Tillis.
Week 9 of the NFL season sees the Cowboys back in prime time as they're getting ready to roll over to the Giants for a little Monday night football. And the race in the NFC East is on. Every one of these divisional games has become more and more important, especially since the Eagles were able to get a win earlier this afternoon. Now, New York shouldn't be the biggest test in the world for Dallas. The G-men are just 2-6 on the year, with one of those losses coming, by the way, all the way back in Week 1 against these Cowboys. Even still, Dallas knows that they're going to have to come ready to play tomorrow if they're going to leave MetLife with that win.
The Giants are going to be the Giants, regardless who's playing. They have their scheme. For us, it's about preparing the right way.
As a big dude.
Coming out with tenacity, stop the run. and get after the passer.
You know, it's kind of ups and downs, and you know, but I think we have a resilient team, and you know, we know. You know, if we can put ourselves in position, we know November and December are, you know, I think we're the real team step up and show what they're all about. So I think we're ready for that push.
Speaking of big dudes, well, we're going to go ahead and jump to the other games that we got going on all across the league. First one takes us to the Texans and Jaguars over the pond. The handoff goes to Duke Johnson, and look at the way he finishes that run. Goes right through the defender and into the end zone. Texans improve to 6-3. They take it 26-3. Bills taking on the Redskins, and Buffalo looking to put this one away late as they hand it off to Devin Singletary. He bounces it out to the left side. The easy score. Bills Mafia going crazy. They get the win 24-9. The Tank Olympics is on. Jets squaring off against the Dolphins, and this one play sums up the game. Sam Darnold not expecting the snap. It goes out of the back of the end zone. Terrible football being played. Miami gets their first one of the year, 26-18. Mike Trout in attendance for the Eagles game as they were squaring off against the Bears, and he probably loved this one. Late in the fourth, Philly just sending out a little squib kick, but Chicago can't come up with it, and the Eagles were able to fall onto it. The unorthodox onside kick right there, and the Bears find a way to lose the ball game 22-14. Tennessee and Carolina going at it. Christian McCaffrey is unreal. Up the gut right here, 58 yards to the house. He accounted for 160 yards of offense on the day. 2 scores. Panthers just keep rolling 30-20. Colts on the road in Pittsburgh. Indy's kicker Adam Vinatieri booted a 50-yard game winner last week. He giveth, he taketh away. Laces out Marino. Steelers hold on 26-24. Speaking of game-winning field goals, Kansas City looking to get one of those in their matchup against the Vikings. They were tied up late. They send out Harrison Butker. And, well, he comes through with the 44-yarder right here. The Chiefs walk it off 26-23. The Raiders taking on the Lions, and this was a good one. Oakland up 7 late. Detroit with the ball and a chance in the fourth. They're down to the 1-yard line. They go to play action. Derek Carr to the back of the end zone. No, sir, incomplete. And the Raiders continue to play well, 31-24. One of the best games of the day, Seahawks and Bucks battling in OT. Russell Wilson sending everybody home. 5 touchdown passes on the day, including that one. Seattle improves to 7-2, 40-34 your final. Former Razorback star Brandon Allen getting his first start under center for the Broncos against the Browns, and he made the most of it. Threw a couple of touchdown passes, including this 75-yarder to Noah Fant, and Denver holds on for a 24-19 win. Chargers taking on the Packers, and you did not see this one coming. L.A. knocking on the door. Melvin Gordon able to bust it on down, and the Bolts take it to Green Bay 26-11. Last one, Ravens at home taking on the undefeated Patriots, and Baltimore coming to play. Lamar Jackson fools everybody, takes it in on the keeper, and the Pats are undefeated no more. Ravens get the win 37-20 your final. That is going to be it for sports. We'll have another look at your forecast coming up next.
This one's for the fans. It's Captain D's $5.99 fan favorites. It's all the seafood dishes you love at a price you'll love even more. Just $5.99. And the crowd goes wild when the captain is calling. Captain D's.
Georgia, come on, let's go to the store. Put some clothes on.
Ooh, can I get a toy?
Absolutely. With the rewards I'm earning on my Centric checking account? Yeah, we can do that.
Whoop, whoop.
Earn better checking. Earn 4.15% APY on balances up to $20,000. Just another way Centric is helping you live better.
NBC 10 presents Veterans Voices, honoring those who serve. Steve Lewis is perhaps the last Buffalo soldier, part of the 9th Cavalry, and one of 2 all-African-American cavalries at the time. In 1948, President Truman segregated the military, and by the early 1950s, the Buffalo Soldiers were disbanded. Veterans Voices, proudly sponsored by Vanguard Realty, Craftsman Federal Credit Union, Kilpatrick Funeral Homes, and Serenity and Memorial Gardens.
Guys, this is Steven.
Pretty sporty car there, Steven.
It's my dad's new Camry. It's got a V6 engine, cool safety features, panoramic moonroof, a super roomy back seat.
You're right about the back seat, Steven. Roomy.
Get carried away by the sporty new Toyota Camry. Right now, get $2,500 customer cash, or qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2019 Camry. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places.
Catch it, the LSU versus Alabama Super Preview Special. Hear from LSU coaches and players as they gear up for the big game. Friday, November 8th at 6:30 on NBC 10. Sponsored by Creed & Creed, your local injury attorneys. Sports with Chris Demersion, weeknights on NBC 10 News.
Well, the week's going to start off on a dry note. Some clouds, though, here and there mixed with that sunshine, but we will gradually warm up and become more muggy by the time we get to Wednesday, especially that'll be ahead of our next system that moves in for Thursday. That's the only chance of rain that we have on the 7-day forecast. We're about 60% scattered showers and storms with that system. Then we do get a brief little cool down with that behind it, and chilly nights once again. But then by the time we get to the weekend, though, good news is the sunshine comes back out. Pleasant weather during the day is a little chill in the air still, but we will recover by the time we get to the second half in the 60s.
All right, well, this child prodigy was discovered when he was only 2 years old, and now 3 years later, he's still rocking out to the beat of his own drum. All of you guys, take a look.
He loved beating on anything he could beat on.
Jeremiah Travis's mom, Nicole Jackson, would have never imagined that tap-tap-tapping that used to drive her mad would have led to this.
Chant, 1, 2, ready, and... He was sitting in the stands, and he was just beating on the stands with drumsticks. So I'm like, who is this little baby keep beating drumsticks in the stands? Just going against the other band across the field, and I'm like, wow.
That was when he was 2. Now he's a full-on member of the St. Helena High School Band.
It's just like he's a normal student. We don't look at him as a baby student. It's like he's one of us. You know, he's just like the rest of my students.
Where'd you learn how to do that, man?
My cousin.
He was like, man, I want to play the drums like you. I was like, all right, let me teach you real quick.
Music isn't the only thing he's good at. He's got the moves to go with it, too.
He got all the dance moves.
Which he says he learns from his cousin.
Because he be watching Alcorn and Southern and doing all them dances and stuff. He'd be like, teach me that. Teach him.
And if all of this looks like it's easy for Travis, you'd be exactly right. Do you like being in the band? Why?
Because it's fun.
I love that. Was that not the
He's got
cutest
some
thing?
skills, man. Gramblin needs to get him on the horn and get him up there next
Great.
week.
Oh my gosh.
It's like that saying, it's like you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Okay, yes, you better say it. Well, guys, that is going to be it for us tonight. Hope you have an amazing week ahead, and join us tomorrow morning with Anna, Bodie, and Lexi to have you up the minute you're up. And that's it. You'll see us back here next weekend.